Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai. What synonyms, translations, and purport was Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So welcome everyone. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are discussing chapter 11, verse 45 in the Bhagavad Gita. So yes, please, if you like to start and others can continue. Thank you very much. We are live on YouTube now. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna, His Grace Amrit Prabhu. Thank you very much, His Grace Amrit Prabhu, Hare Krishna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Smarpan Krishna Prabhu for organizing this class and giving us chance to share our realizations. Thank you, Prabhuji. Shila Gurudev Ki Jai, Shila Prabhupada. So we are on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 45. Adrishta Purvam Rishito Asmi Drishtava Bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me tadeva me drishya devarupam prasidha devesha jagan nivasa adrishta purvam rishito asmi drishtava bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me तदेव मे दृश्य देवरूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास अदृष्टपूर्वम् हर्षितो अस्मि दृष्टवा भयेन च प्रव्यथातितं मनो मे तदेव मे दृश्य देवरूपम् प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास.
Very nice, Prabhuji. It's a little word twisters. This is, you sung nicely. I think Maharaj, we attended. Maharaj gave these words, one of the evenings. I remember in this class. So Maharaj was singing this very nicely. So I remember it. We recited it many times, with Maharaj, Gurudev. So,
Yes,
Adrushta Purvam Rushitosmi Društva Bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me Tadeva darshaya deva rupam Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam Prasida devesha jagannivasa Adrushta Purvam Rushitosmi Društva Bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam Prasida devesha jagannivasa Adrushta purvam Rushitoshmi društva Bhayena cha pravyathitam mano me Tadeva me darshaya deva rupam Prasida devesha jagannivasa. Thank you, Prabhuji, for allowing. Please continue. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yes, this is the tune Maharaj sings, and I really like it. I try to learn this. I just go a little bit different towards the end. That's why. But I'm learning, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Jai Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai. All the
Yes,
best to all of you.
What towards synonym, translation, and purpose by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Adrishta Purvam, never seen before. Harshitaha, gladdened. Asmi, I am, Drishtava, by seeing, Bhayena, out of fear, Cha, also, Pri, Praviyathitam, perturbed, Manah, mind, may, my, Tat, that, Eva, certainly, may, unto me, Drishya, show, Deva, O Lord, Rupam, the form, Prasiddha, Prasida, just be gracious, Deva Isha, O Lord of Lords, Jagat Nivas, O refuge of the universe. So, never seen before, gladdened I am, by seeing out of fear also, perturbed mind my, that certainly unto you show, O Lord, the form, just be gracious, O Lord of Lords, O refuge of the universe. Translation. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace on me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Purpose. Arjuna is always in confidence with Krishna because he is a very dear friend. And as a dear friend is gladdened by his friend's opulence, Arjuna is very joyful to see that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and can show such a wonderful universal form. But at the same time, after seeing the universal form, he is afraid that he has committed so many offenses to Krishna out of his unalloyed friendship. Thus, his mind is disturbed out of fear. Although he had no reason to fear, Arjun therefore is asking Krishna to show his Narayana form because he can assume any form. This universal form is material and temporary, as the material world is temporary. But in the Vaikuntha planets, he has his transcendental form with four hands as Narayan. There are innumerable planets in the spiritual sky, and in each of them, Krishna is present by his plenary manifestation of different names. Thus, Arjuna desired to see one of the forms manifest in the Vaikuntha planets. Of course, in each Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayan is four-handed, but the four hands hold different arrangements of symbols: the conch shell, mace, lotus, and disk. According to the different hands, these four things are held in. The Narayanas are variously named. All of these forms are one with Krishna. Therefore, Arjun requests to see his four-handed feature. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, Arjun now requesting Krishna to show his personal form. And Srila Prabhupada are explaining here that why Arjun saying that his mind is disturbed because he is glad and afraid same time. He is glad because his friend is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he is afraid to see the universal form, although he had no reason to fear. Plus, he um, committed offenses against Personality of the Godhead in unalloyed friendship. So, he requesting Krishna to show his normal form of Narayan. So the point I have realized that devotees always want to see the Lord's personal form because he has a relationship, either friend, son, lover, or master, or other relationship, but with the Lord in different forms. And this universal form is different because, as Srila Prabhupada are saying, that this universal form is material and temporary, as material world is temporary. So I can understand that the Lord is perfect and absolute, so he can assume any form, spiritual or material. After all, both the energies belongs to the Lord. So universal form of the Lord is material because all the material creation in this form is in this form, and material creation is changing all the time. So it's not permanent. Actually, this universal form is never seen before, and Krishna showed this form to Arjuna. My realization is that we are in this material world, and the material world also part of the Lord's energy. So we must see Krishna's hand in all the creation. Krishna said in previous chapters about his opulences in this world, and we can see Krishna whenever we see those opulences. The continuity must be there of realization. Srila Gurudev says in yesterday's transcendental mellow that which we cannot get from Srimad Bhagavatam, we cannot get any time from anywhere else. The root of realized knowledge is continuous thinking of scripture. So I have realized that we must continuously thinking and reading scriptures, no matter where we are or in whatever situation we are, because this is the root of realization, as Guru Maharaj says. So Srila Gurudev has unflinching faith on Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. Any difficulty, says open Srimad Bhagavatam, and or even no difficulty, just open Srimad Bhagavatam and read. Maharaj said, if any time you feel that your devotional service is gliding down, then just open Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 or chapter 12 or chapter 15 or Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 1 chapter 2 and recite the verse and you will pick up again. This is unflinching faith, and that's what I'm trying to follow, the footsteps of Maharaj. So yes, these verses are not ordinary. They have transcendental vibrations come from Krishna. So definitely they have this potency that whenever we feel low or whenever we feel distracted, so these verses, if we recite, will help us to focus again. And the point, that continuity point, is very much I thinking upon it. That yes, we if we are not continuous, then we have gaps in knowledge. So continuity uh, gives us the realizations, and this is a root of realization. That's another main point. So that's what I realized, bro. Thank you very much. Hare.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you, Sanjay Prabhu, for your nice realization. Thank you, Ambrish Prabhuji. Thank you, Purvabanda Devidasi Mataji. Thank you, Krishna Samarpandas Prabhu, for guiding and training us to give our realization. We are in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, verse 45, the universal form. अद्रष्टपूर्वं रुचितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपं प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Ki Jai. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of the Lords, O abode of the universe. So here, Srila Prabhupada mentioned in the purport that Arjun is very happy to see his friend as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because he he wasn't aware that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In earlier chapter, he has already asked, like, he said, the Lord has tolerated me from my childhood, because he treated him like his friend, but he didn't know that he's a Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Arjun was fear as well to see his universal form, but Srila says that he had no reason to fear, but because he was very happy to see him as his friend, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he wished to see his Narayan form, and that Arjuna desired, because he knew that the Vaikuntha planet, the form of Narayana is four-handed, and the four-handed hold different symbols like conch shells, mace, lotus, etc., disc. So according to these are held in Narayana name. All these forms are one and the same as Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna requests him here. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, verse 31, Lord says that such a yogi who engages in the worshipful service of the super soul, knowing that I and the super soul are one, remains always in me in all circumstances. The Srila Prabhupada here emphasize that the yogi should know that the Krishna, Vishnu, is not different. Vishnu is not different from Krishna. And Krishna, in this form of super soul, he is situated in everyone's heart. Everyone's a different, innumerable super soul present throughout the universe. He is present everywhere. So there is no difference between as Krishna consciousness person who's always engaged in the transcendental loving service of Krishna, and the perfect yogi engaged in meditation of the super soul. But the yogi who is in Krishna consciousness, even though he may be engaged in his various activities or material activities, but he always remains, try to always remain in Krishna consciousness. So the devotees of the Lord, though they always acting in a Krishna consciousness, they automatically liberated. Srila Prabhupada says that in Narad Pancharatna, this confirms that by concentrating one's attention on the transcendental form of Krishna, who is everywhere, we can see all throughout the universe, and who is thinking of Krishna, and then attains the state of translation, association with him. So we must see Krishna's hand, as Sanjay Prabhu has already mentioned, that we must see the Krishna's hand everywhere. And though we are in material world doing different jobs, but while doing that also, if we see that Krishna is everywhere, whatever we are getting, whatever we are living on this or that everything is given us by Lord Krishna. If that reminds everyone that everything is come from him. So he is our supreme father. So to that understand, one has to be in association with the devotees and focus always in Krishna consciousness. But that we have to have that constant continuity. We should read read the Bhagavatam, read Srila Prabhupada's book, Bhagavad Gita, and then one can slowly be and also in association with the right-minded devotees, and you learn many things. That as I have seen that since my association with the Namada devotees, and time to time the guidance from His Grace Amrish Prabhuji. So I'm not 100% able to concentrate or doing that, but the I can still see myself that where was I, and now I can vouch by myself that he definitely I'm a little bit progressing, but by doing and by having an association with right-minded devotees, I will try to get things like, and what I mean, read the Bhagavatam, read Bhagavad Gita. Also, in Canto 1, Chapter 9, verse 24, Srila Prabhupada given an example of in purport of Bhishmadev, who knew that the Lord Krishna is the original Narayan, and his worshipful deity was 400 Narayan. Since he knew that the 400 Narayan is the plenary expansion of Lord Krishna, but indirectly he desired Lord Sri Krishna to manifest himself in his 400 feature of Narayan. As we see that Bhishmadev is one of the great Mahajan, and he's the pure devotee of the Lord. So he can always wish that. But the devotees, those devotees like me, I mean, we have to go far, far away for that. At least we can follow their instruction, follow the Srila Prabhupada instruction, Gurudev's instruction, that be in association with the devotees. But the devotees never anxious to, also Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the devotees never very anxious to go back to the Godhead. They all depend on the goodwill of the Lord. So we have to satisfy the Lord, and if Lord desires, then He will sanction. But we should not, like an hanker that no, I want this, or we should not pray that I want this as a materially, especially. For that, Srila Prabhupada says, if you want really materially to manifest something or you want to get benefited, then you must pray the demigods, not the Lord Krishna. So I came across with one of the lecture from Srila Prabhupada, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 1, verse 58. The translation: since one cannot visually experience the presence of the super soul, he appears before us as a liberated devotee. Such a spiritual master is none other than the Krishna himself. So what I understand from this is that Srila Prabhupada and even the master, the spiritual master actually is within ourselves. So Srila Prabhupada mean to say that you don't need to find any spiritual master, but if it is possible for a conditioned soul to directly meet Krishna, Srila Prabhupada says the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but one can, it is not possible to see or directly, but Srila Prabhupada says that one can become a very sincere devotees or serious in engaging the devotional service of the Lord Krishna, and then Krishna himself sends an instruction within your spiritual master to show him favor and invoke his dormant propensity for serving the Supreme. Means that get the advice from our spiritual master within the heart, that so actually devotee is guided from within by the Chaitya Guru, that is Krishna, and who is seated in the spiritual master within the heart of our living entity. So for that, actually, individual strength is very much important, and that individual strength is only come from the association of the devotees. So long as every one of us is strong in Krishna consciousness, there is no doubt you can fly in the spiritual sky and meet together without failure. But the individual strength is more important. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. So devotee who chants the holy name of the Lord in a perfectly offenseless, Srila Prabhupada says, once you chanting that, one should chant offenselessly manner, and it's friendly to everyone, can actually relish the transcendental taste of glorifying the Lord. So what my few points are, like, I really understood from this verse is that I should be humble ourselves. We should be humble ourselves in the presence of the divine, understanding that Krishna's power is beyond our understanding, and that everything in the universe is part of his plan. So I must understand that whatever is happening, that is all is Krishna's plan. So I should not blame others, or I should not think that this happened, that happened. Whatever happening, whatever my progress or whatever I'm not progressing, that is all Krishna's plan. But as Prabhupada said, that we have to, like, your strength is more important individual. And also ultimate goal is, one must keep that ultimate goal is to return Krishna, serve him, and build very close relationship with him. So if I want to progress, and if I really surrender, I should give my 100% and trust all whatever the Krishna's guidance coming time to time through devotees, through scripture, and accept whatever situation is the plan, Krishna's hand. So faith is for that. The faith is really important in progressing this spiritual life, spiritual progress. So I must trust Krishna and follow his teaching. This is my realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much to Sanjeev Prabhu and Soban Prabhu for your very nice realizations. Today's verse is Srila Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11, text 45. Once again, thank you, Prabhus, for your very nice points. There's a lot of points that have been covered. Adrashta purvam rishitosmi drishtva bhayena cha pravyatitam mano me tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasiddha devesha jagannivasa. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. This is taken from the 1972 translation. So, very nice points mentioned by Sanjeev Prabhu and Sopan Prabhu. For me, it was important. It was an important thing that I that was meditating on here, with the entire pastime of Lord Krishna showing his Vishvarupa, universal form, to Arjuna. I would be constantly thinking that, the impersonalists, their attainment of salvation, or their object of, or their worship, is to merge into the Brahmajyoti, and they also this universal form is that is what they're also praying to see as well. And we see that Arjuna has been shown this universal form, but now Arjuna is afraid and does not want to see the universal form anymore. Whereas in contrast, the impersonalist people, they imagine
this universal form, or they try and and merge into the impersonal Brahmajyoti of the Lord. However, pure devotees of the Lord, they worship, they worship the Lord. And that's why, Arjuna is asking Lord Krishna to show his form as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, as a Narayan form, because of his attachment as a pure devotee. Now, before, Arjuna's position for Lord Krishna is as a friend, still is as a friend, but after seeing the universal form of the Lord, Arjuna has accepted Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that is his perfection of devotion, and that is his attachment. That's what he wants to see. He doesn't want to see the universal form, and that's what devotees are interested in, because those are the eternal. That's the eternal form of the Lord. The in the Vaikuntha form, either with the 4 hands or the 2 hands, and that's the form that pure devotees of the Lord worship Lord Krishna as the Narayan form. And so that's the eternal form of the Lord, and that's what our perfection is, and that is what our devotional service is based on. And Arjuna is giving us his example as to how we should also be worshipping the Lord. What we should be focused on. And this is very nicely mentioned in the Prabhupada Vaishnava Prabhupada. So this is the main point that I realized is that as a practicing devotee myself, that we we should not be our focus should be on this eternal form of the Lord as a personality of Godhead. So that's my realization. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So thank you very much for all your realizations. They are very wonderful realizations. Thank you very much. I'll just put some pointers, on the discussion here. So the understanding here is this, that after we've seen this universal form, which I've never seen before, I'm gladdened. This is the first part. But at the same time, my mind is perturbed with fear. The second part. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O Lord of the universe. So, the universal form of the Lord exists only in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Now, in the universal form of the Lord, which includes everything, the whole material creation, all the jivas, as we see that Arjuna saw that all the great personalities, including his own gurus and seniors, were getting killed, been crushed between the teeth of Krishna, the universal form. As they're rushing very fast towards it, and into the mouth of Krishna. Yeah, or if you go, remember? Or if you remember?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Ramesh.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So, this is the universal form. It's a very ghastly form. It's a material form. Anything to do with material things is always very ghastly. A relationship also deteriorates over a period of time. There may be 1 or 2 very good friends, you see, very close friends, But again, something may happen and deterioration takes place in the relationship. That relationship which does not deteriorate through material contamination is transcendental. And this relationship happens even amongst disciples and gurus. In the spiritual form also, deterioration happens. There is a reason many times disciples and devotees lament the association of a senior devotee till we just misunderstood the devotee. We never understood this position of this devotee. It's never revealed. The devotee never reveals his position. Similarly, Krishna also did not reveal his position to Arjuna. So in the material world, this is the material position of Krishna, his universal form. And that is a reason why Arjuna is very, very gladdened to see. He uses the word Harshitaha in the first line. Adrushta Purvam Rushitoshmi Drushta. Rushitaha. So Rushitaha means gladdened. Harshitaha, Rushitaha. So you've seen, I've seen this form. Adrushyam Purvam. Adrushta Purvam. Purva means before, Adrushta means never seen. It is not seen, unseen form. Never seen before form. So Arjuna was unaware about Krishna's material form. And this point also we discussed in the past, if you remember. But now everything is culminating together. That there is a universal form of Krishna, material form of Krishna. Which devotees had not seen before. This is the point to be understood. These are the hidden meanings in the verses. So by Srila Gurudev's mercy, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we can understand these things. So devotees who are accustomed to being with Krishna in a spiritual form, the spiritual form is not ghastly form. Simple form. Cowherd boy, he goes into his cow, tending every day. Yes, there is also pastimes of him killing. But those pastimes are, that's why he comes to the material world to kill. Because in the spiritual world, everything is under the control of Krishna. You understand these points? So there's only enjoyment over there in Vaikuntha planets and the Golok Vrindavan planets. Killing and deterioration comes in the material world. As you said, relationship deteriorates, human being's body deteriorates, everything deteriorates over a period of time. We are not what we were 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 40 years ago. Body is deteriorating constantly. This is a very important point to be considered in understanding these verses. So that is the reason why Arjuna says, now I'm very afraid. I'm gladdened to see this form, thank you very much. But I'm very afraid to see this form also. I've never seen this form, and this ghastly form of so many living beings being killed and changing, taking place. You are the proprietor of all this. I've just seen you as a cowherd boy. And of course, Arjuna's friend is with Krishna in Dwarka. He's a king also in Dwarka. As King Dwarka, he also killed so many living beings. But still at the same time, that king Dwarka's form was also unknown to the gopis. Because they saw him only as a cowherd boy. And that's what happens in Golok Vrindavan. And that is the reason why the Rath Yatra takes place. And Jagannath feature forms of Krishna. When they see the love of the gopis. And the gopis don't recognize him. But he's a king. Where is our Krishna? I can't recognize him. He doesn't have a flute. King doesn't have a flute. So these are the subtle meanings at all stages. Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha, and the material. So at the same time, Narayan form is only the Vaikuntha planets. It's not in the material world form, material world planet. Material world is just with Karanadaksha Vishnu. That also is between material and spiritual, in the causal ocean. And then comes Garbhodaksha Vishnu. So technically speaking, Krishna's spiritual form has nothing to do with the material things. They have nothing to do with material world. Even when Krishna glances into the material Prakriti and impregnates them, that is done through the agent of Karanadaksha Vishnu. And there is a form of distance. So Maya, the material Prakriti, has got nothing to do with Krishna. Krishna has got nothing to do with them. The only connection is the glancing part. And there is also of a safe distance. So we must understand this, how far away we are from Krishna actually in the spiritual world. That Arjuna had to ask him that I'm very happy to see this material form, but I'm very afraid. So please now show me your spiritual form. So slowly he shows four-handed and then two-handed form. So he's used to seeing material spiritual form. Yeah, we understand this point? Now let's culminating these points. Okay. I just wanted to share this point. Thank you very much. Yeah. Anyone has any questions or anything to share before we complete today's discussion?
Hare Krishna, Bhagavad. Thank you very much for your realization and points, Bhagavad. Just want to clarify one point that you said. Yes, in spiritual world there is no killing. So the pastimes of the Lord here is eternal. So these pastimes not happening in the spiritual world, probably those pastimes
No,
we hear.
no. Everybody is subordinate to Krishna. But still, the devotees are afraid when he goes to tend cows in the forest. Oh, there are many animals there. It takes a little maturity to understand these things. Mother Yashoda also very afraid every day when he goes to tend his cows in the forest of Vrindavan, in Golok Vrindavan. So when they comes back, they are waiting with bated breath when he comes back in the evening. And there's a big celebration when they see him come. That's why he comes to the material world to fight. He's a young man. Young man requires some fighting spirit, Just like Parakya Bhav exists in the spiritual world in the form of a bhav, but not physical separation. Material world comes in a physical separation. Parakya Bhav, boy and girl. Same thing about fighting also.
Yes, bro. Just a parental love. Because of the love, devotees have that fear. Not fear, but they concern about.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Cannot experience that here, but we can experience it easily when we are detached from the body. When we're acting on the spiritual platform with attachment to Krishna, we can experience those feelings now also. It takes a bit of effort, training. And those things are needed in this world now, so we can, when we finish the body, we can go back where we want to go. So there is a reason why continuous studying of scriptures and thinking of scriptures are important. So that's why we say, yes, we depend upon devotees, correct. But we teach you to become devotees also. Study yourself and properly. So you're not cheated. Otherwise, devotees also cheat each other. We have seen that also. I will also cheat you with my hidden agendas. You must study. And yes, there may be spiritual world also. You may hear that yes, there is fights happening there. Also, there's killing. Krishna also kills. Right, it does, but still, it overlaps sometimes material and spiritual world. It's a little different. I don't want to dwell on that subject at the moment. So right now, let's keep it very clean, simple. No, spiritual world, no killing. Is it?
No.
Everybody is subordinate, surrender to Krishna. Krishna want to kill me, please kill me. No? There's no fight. There is no anger. You understand this?
Yes.
Yeah. So right now, let's keep it clean cut, black and white. But it's not as clean cut as it is. It is, because sometimes things overlap. The past times eternal, it overlaps. We should be qualified for those discussions.
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm not qualified for those discussions at the moment. So we'll leave it at that. But I can tell you one thing. The moment we understand these things, we want to go back to Krishna and the spiritual world. Is it not so? After hearing these
Yes.
things.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So we finish off our duties here. But remember one thing. Always keep your accounts settled here. Don't keep accounts pending. Keep it closed. Accounts should be closed. Mentally, our accounts should be closed with everybody. No grudges, no hankering, no lamentation. Move on. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. The Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna, be happy, rascal. It's such a beautiful philosophy, so deep, at the same time, it's so simple. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Good. Any other questions? Anybody else before we move or to share? Okay. Chala, wonderful. All the best. So those who have not attended, they should write the realizations, please, or speak the realization before next class of what they picked up in this verse. Thank you. Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai.
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 Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
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 Krishna Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare
Bol
Hare.
Gita ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai.